Hello everyone, it's your boy Saf. We're back with another ADBL tournament game. This time we have a Sun and Moon match versus, not versus, match between AlphaRay and CaptainFunk. AlphaRay is playing for my team, the Mind-Blowing Plus Fs, and he also won Week 1 versus Chrome Music, so he's doing well, aiming for that 2-0 score this week. CaptainFunk is playing for the Keladon City Chances. He's one of the managers too, so... And he also won Week 1 with a solid Volcarona sweep, so both players are going for that 2-0 score. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. If you guys like competitive mods content like this, make sure you subscribe. It's honestly free, and you can remove it whenever you want. So let's get to the teams. What else? Oh, also yeah, also have seen this game already. Not gonna lie, because like it's my teammate playing, so I've seen it already. I'm gonna try to keep my thought process and competitive like analysis of the game as good as I can without spoiling too much info. So let's get into the games. We see a Mega Medicham team versus a Mega Lagazam team. Let's switch sides. Um, Pretty cool stuff. Mega Medicham, Zapdos, Landorus, Magirna, Garen, and Komo. Probably defensive Lando with Spedef, Magirna, AV. Defensive Zapdos with Defog Roost and 2 attacks. Mega Medicham is a big gunner. Garen can be either Protein or Z move, or Askren, excuse me. And we have Komo in the back. It can also be Z move, or it could be like Scarf Lando, a defensive Stealth Rocks Komo. On the other hand, we have a CaptainFunk team with Protein. CaptainFunk team with. Yeah, I don't know if he built it. Let's say it like that. I don't know if he built it himself, but it's a cool team. Great defensive core. Hitan, the split def guy, the only rocker on the team. Grain Protein, so we can say because it's female, so it should be like a Spikes, maybe Z move. Grandium Z makes a lot of sense with Alakazam to lure Magirna and the opposing Hichans. Tornadus could also be the Z move with Fighting Z Fox Blast. And yeah, things like that. So let's get into the game. So we're probably gonna see a Medicham lead versus either Torn or Gren. So maybe Tabubulu. Tabubulu makes a lot of sense too. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, Tornadus versus Medicham. Now, Tornadus is usually a defensive pivot for grass type attacks. So, Rocky Helmet set with Defog Uter, Knockoff Hurricane, something like that is a standard set. Otherwise, it's gonna be a Z move. So, you can get this information by going for Fake Out. Otherwise, you can just go back to Zapdos. You never want to make contact with the Zapdos because if you get paralyzed by static and you get your Tornado slower by Medicham, it kind of destroys everything, right? High jump kick, ice bounce, high jump kick, so it's kind of deadly. So never want to make contact with it. Hurricane is free, and Fake Out if you want to get the information on what the set on Tornado is, you can try that, but you're gonna take a little bit of damage. So he does that, exactly. So now he knows, and he can go back to Zapdos. CaptainFunk makes a great play, doubles out on Hichan, expecting the Zapdos, which is the best way of taking advantage of the Zapdos switch, and doesn't make contact at all with it, not even going for Hurricane. Doesn't waste time at all. Aggressive play, nicely done. Como now comes out, we see Stealthox. So maybe they go for, maybe they just go for trade rocks. Nope, he decides to go back to Zapdos, expecting the Tapu Bull or Tornadus, and he gets Toxic. Now, this Toxic was a great play. Como never goes for close combat when you have two options on Torn and Tapu Bull in the back. So, and even if he goes for that, but he maybe even lived, possibly lived, right? There's a low chance he goes for close combat or Earthquake that turn. It made more sense going for how's it called? For either Stealth Rocks or a double switch into Zapdos to deal with the hazards. Let me think. Alright, so now he gets the Zapdos. Zapdos cannot do anything to Hitan, so if you just stay in defog, you just take more damage and eventually lose the 1v1. So you have to go back to Komo and pressure this Hichan. He goes for a Lava Bloom, which is a safe play. You can also get the parent. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And he goes back to Bulu on the close combat. This time, he decides to stay with the Bulu. He decides to stay with the Komo because this Hichan got a lot of value already. So it doesn't want to play around with it anymore. And he close combat Tapu Bulu switch. So CaptainFunk gets all the plays right. Very nicely done. Now we're going to see a switch out on either Zapdos or Magirna or Lando. Lando comes out, so it's probably a defensive Lando and offensive close combat Komo. But nope, he doesn't stay in with the Bulu. He decides to go with Tornadus, which is a good background versus every switch that CaptainFunk would have done. Even Zapdos, because you would take damage from rocks, Toxic, and then you just pressure it with Tornadus. You can even just switch out or just go for a safe Hurricane. So, I mean, safe switch or just go for a risky Hurricane. So, it's not even that bad even if he goes Zapdos because he has to roost at that turn. So, great Tornado switch. catches everything, and Lando. Now you're able to get rid of its item, so that's very good for you. It was Rocky Helmet, so it's not that good, but it's still fine. And you go for a Hurricane that misses. This miss matters a lot, especially because AlphaRay goes for the U-turn, so he's gonna take U-turn damage from Rocky Helmet. So it would have been around 20%, I think, 25 maybe. So next one would have been a kill. So this miss matters a lot. It's a little bit unfortunate for CaptainFunk, but he does play very well at that point. So he definitely didn't mind it that much at that point. But we'll see how it eventually ends up annoying him in the late game. So in the later game. So Zaps comes out, it can roost for free. Thorn should never make contact, and Greninja comes out. As we said earlier, it's Protein, so he's afraid of an Ice Beam. And if it's Ground UMZ, he's just gonna click it versus the Magearna coming up, with the lure for Alakazam. So this would help you a lot. We see Magearna switch on the Ice Beam. So now you just go for it. There is a chance he scouts for it and goes maybe back to Lando or even Gren. So that would have been great. Lando makes more sense because actually there's no real switch. Your safe play versus Magearna is switching out either on Hichan or Gastrodon. Gastrodon blocks the volt switch too. And there is no real good double that deals with Ground MZ and the Gastrodon switch. So it's not even that bad. Fucking music, bro. Thank you. So yeah, you wouldn't go Medicham on a Greninja right here clicking Z move if it's Ground MZ. Maybe you don't even think that it is a set. But yeah, it's clearly that set. Otherwise, it's not Thorn Z, it's not Heatran Z. It's not. It's good. It could be like a Stone and Tapu Bulu, but it doesn't make sense and synergy with this team at all. So let's see. He decides to go Gastrodon. Doesn't reveal if he has Z or not, and he goes for the safe ult, which does a scout for it. So now we're gonna see Komo coming out. The Scald would have been annoying, but he goes for a Curse, so he's a Curse Gastrodon, which is surprising. It's a very unused set. Even in Gen 6 it wasn't used very much, especially in Gen 7. Komo comes out. He's afraid of the Z move with the Gastrodon, so he decides to go back to Bull, get a little bit of HP. Komo goes for the DD, but it's walled by it, so he decides to switch out. And CaptainFunk doesn't afraid at all. He decided to scout for any potential Z move or threatening attack, and goes back to the Gastrodon. So very solid plays. It also deals with the Zapdos coming up, so it's a good mid ground. Very good plays by CaptainFunk. Decent play by AlphaRay, but now you're kind of pressured. You don't wanna. I guess you can EQ on the switch, on the roost, but it's not giving you that much value. So you're kind of free to roost here, and Gastrodon doesn't do very much to you. Decides to go Gren, makes a lot of sense. Ice Beam is annoying, and let's see what they end up doing. Zapdos at full almost. Decides to go back to Hitan on the expected Magearna. Makes a lot of sense. Hitan is not only good versus Zapdos staying in for whatever reason, it's also good versus Magearna coming out because fire type attacks are now scary, man. There is Grass Terrain for one more turn, so Magearna heals a little bit, but this Lava Plume is gonna be annoying. You don't want to take the burn with the Gren, you don't want to take all the hazards, so Gren makes the most sense. Trying to keep the Magearna healthy for Alakazam, otherwise Komo, but you're just getting burned, so good play by CaptainFunk, making this mid ground. Hitran back to full and Lava Balloon is free. He even gets the damage and the burn on the Magearna, which is huge for the Alakazam in the back. So Medicham comes out though, and now you kind of allow that to come in. Unless you have Protect, this is a deadly ass Pokemon. You can Ice Punch immediately the turn, but I don't think it's needed. Even if you're Jolly, you probably destroy everything with High Jump Kick. So that's exactly that. Kills the Hitchan. So no Protect. High Jump Kick is a kill. I don't know about this Hitchan sack. I think you probably didn't need Gastrodon as much as this Hitchan because Hitchan now just clicks buttons with Lava Plume, but I guess you don't want it to invite Greninja very much. So maybe it was actually the sack. So I don't know. I think Gastro with the Curse set doesn't really sweep when there's a Medicham and there is a Komo in the back, but it could have definitely pressured a little bit. So I don't know if it pressured more than Hitchan. CaptainFunk valued it less than Gastrodon, so we'll see if that actually works out for him. Ghost Thorn, Hurricane is free. You can also switch out. Zapdos comes out. It's the Hurricane. Now it's free. And you don't want to make contact with it. Oh. Okay, you decide to make contact with it. Bad play. You don't get static, but you get the Rocky Helmet. So, not that bad, but yeah, unnecessary. You then, probably didn't think of it. It invites Gren though. And Gren is still annoying as fuck. So, let's see what he ends up doing with this Gren. And how it's gonna get value in this game. And he goes to the ground DMZ on the Zapdos. Now this turn was super important. What is Zapdos gonna do? Is gonna roost again? Yeah. So CaptainFunk decides this is the turn that I wanna snipe the Magirna with the ground DBZ, and instead of going for Ice Beam, which is safe because if you went for Ice Beam, you just kill Zapdos, you kill Lando, you kill basically everything, and if Magirna comes out, it's gonna take the burn, it's gonna take Stealth, it's gonna be taking the Ice Beam too. So Alakazam definitely kills after. And you can even go for the ground DMZ after, and there is no switch at all for that. You just go for another Ice Beam if he switches out into one of the ground immunes, and you're free. So unnecessary prediction, and AlphaRay catches that because CaptainFunk has been playing very aggressively since early game. So good call by AlphaRay. Now he finally starts to come back, and kind of wasted the Greninja, but he still has to deal with his Ice Beam. So let's see what he ends up doing. Greninja makes the most sense because it doesn't mind any attack, and Uter is never coming out versus Zapdos with static. But there are the T-Spikes. Now T-Spikes mean a lot. T-Spikes mean there is synergy with the Gastrodon because you Groundium, Z Haze, Toxapex, which would normally absorb the T-Spikes, and Gastrodon can sweep, which usually doesn't because of the Toxapex. So Precious Grass types with a Protein Ice Beam, Precious Grass types with the Toxic Spikes. They also allow Alakazam to use viably a good Calm Mind set, 3 attacks, or Calm Mind 2 attacks recover. So Toxic Spikes, very cool set. I like the synergy a lot between the Pokemons, and this turn right here gives you a lot of value. But you have to deal with this freaking Gren. You have 2 switches, either Tapu Bulu, at this point it's hell enough to leave the attacks unless it's Protein, or Gastrodon. If it's Asken, you should probably go for Spikes to pressure exactly the Pokemon that we have on the field, Gastrodon and Tapu Bulu. So we see the Spikes, and he decides to go back to Zapdos, which they resist for Tapu Bulu, but no, CaptainFunk never lets pressure. He predicts again, goes Gren, and now you have a free Ice Beam to click. You don't want to go Gren on this Ice Beam, so he decided to go to sack Zapdos, which is kind of annoying. You kind of wanted your Zapdos to pressure Tornadus and Tapu Bulu. What is going on with my music? I swear to God, I'm getting so upset. Thank you. Cool. Alright, so we have music in the back, and we have Zapdos dead, so Tapu Bulu and Torn look annoying as fuck. But, on the other hand, you get your own Greninja to click Hydro Pump. And by Hydro Pump, I mean Dark Pulse. Because with the Spike down and all this, Tapu Bulu doesn't want to come out, so gives the ass for, unfortunately for CaptainFunk, there is nothing you can do about it at this point. You decided to kill the Zapdos and allow the Greninja to evolve. So, at least you can switch out in one of the guys now, probably Tapu Bulu and heal a little bit, because it's also a Dark Resist. I mean, I guess you could go Alakazam and risk the Focus Plus Miss too. It's not that bad of a play, because it also hits my gear now, but it's risky. I think Tapu Bulu is safer. But now you have to deal with this big ass red Askren destroying everything. Water Shuriken is annoying as fuck still, even if you have like a water immunity, it's annoying. Gotta be careful. So, Gren evolved, have to deal with it, Tapu Bulu comes out, and are we gonna see another double? We see a Landro switch on Hornlitz. Now, Hornlitz did 27%, which means not very offensive, probably 0 attack. So this means the next one without Grass Terrain shouldn't kill. And let's high roll. So yeah, 17. Now this matters a lot, and this is where the Hurricane from Tornadus would have mattered a lot, because Lando is now able to leave the attack, get Medicham in, so it clicks another button, and he also has kept another sack in the back on Landorus. So this is annoying as fuck for CaptainFunk. This is where the Hurricane matters, and now he has to deal and sack something in this Medicham. Now this turn is an interesting one. Ice Punch basically kills everything, is any health but destroys everything. Ice Punch doesn't only kill Gastrodon, so you would like to predict that, so you don't take more poison damage, and you get to keep your fake out Pokemon alive and healthy. But it's risky. So Ice Punch is safe. Otherwise, Hydro Kick destroy Gastrodon would have been a fire play. Hydro Kick maybe even kills Tapu Bulu, depending on the EVs and the nature of the Medicham. Ice Punch, 31, 35, excuse me, and goes for another one. Zen kills, but you took so much damage from this poison that's annoying. You also invite Alakazam. Now, this Alakazam, for whatever reason, doesn't have Magic Guard. Probably forgot about it. He also forgot to make the Greninja male, so a little bit of a, I don't know. You kind of goofed up a little bit. So you would have taken all this damage from Spikes and Stealth Rocks, and you would have revealed your set immediately. But we know that it's Protein, so we're expecting Z move, which has good synergy between the Pokemon. So yeah, CaptainFunk a little bit messed up with the team building process of the team. But yeah, on the process, I guess yeah, the process. But the thought process is cool. I like it a lot. Good synergy between the mons. Now we're gonna see Landrusak on Psyshock or a Calm Mind apparently. hmm I like how I said it before he even does it, but I just remembered it by watching the replay before, so my bad. But yeah, I've watched the game because it's my teammate playing. And yeah, I remember it is a Calm mindset on Alakazam, and he goes for that in that exact turn. So good play by CaptainFunk. Now this Calm Mind Alakazam puts a lot of pressure. You have to go back to Medicham and fake out immediately, but nope, he decides to go Magirna, which does not do very much damage to Alakazam. Even Fleur Cannon or Iron Head wouldn't do that much because you're burned, and he has a Calm Mind boost. And depending on the set on Alakazam, if it's recover 2 attacks Calm Mind, that would be annoying as fuck. If he's not, you can take this damage, lower it a little bit of HP, and then pressure it with Fake Out Medi and Ash Gren with Water Shuriken. So he's gonna be going for another Calm Mind. Voltage does absolutely zero. This is the turn you go Medicham. You should have went before, go for Fake Out and then High Jump Kick to sack it and put in range of your attacks, but nope, you decide to do this instead. Now Medicham comes out and Fake Out is free. It would be annoying if you click Fake Out versus the Tornadoes coming out and lose your Medicham. But at that point, Alakazam, if it switches out, it would take a little bit of damage from Spikes and Stealth Rocks, and it would have been in range from Ashgren's Water Shuriken. So it's not even that bad. Fake Out is always the play. But he's decided to go for Ice Punch prediction, either Alakazam recovering or Tornado switching up to pressure Medicham with Rocky Helmet and kill it basically. So good play by AlphaRay. Well, not technically not, but he gets the play right. And CaptainFunk heals this turn, which makes a lot of sense. Since you leave any attack, judging by how little this Ice Punch did, it did 51. 51 means this is a max HP Alakazam and more. So there's defense, maybe even like, I don't know. Someone showed me the set on this Alakazam, but I don't remember it. I think it had a lot of speed, a lot of defense, and max HP. So yeah, otherwise Ice Punch would have done only 51. It would have done a lot more damage. But yeah, we see only 51. So and even a freeze doesn't matter very much. He's gonna thaw immediately, and he's gonna go for another recover on the next Ice Punch, which does 59. So yeah, very little damage, 51 to 59, max HP and a lot of defense. Gren comes out, and he's afraid of maybe Water Shuriken critting. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if Water Shuriken killed at that point with +2, +1. How much was it? +2. I don't know if it actually killed at 40%. I don't know, but you don't want to risk it. Makes sense. You can just switch out, sack your Tornadoes and go Tapu Bull. I think it makes more sense than to recover because eventually you have to risk the Water Shuriken anyway. So he decides to go for that. There is a chance Greninja outspeeds this Alakazam because of how defensive the investment was on its EVs. But AlphaRay doesn't want to risk it. He decides to go for the Water Shuriken, roll, crit, whatever it was. So also another one. Tornadoes is not gonna appreciate this. Tapu Bulu cannot switch out hard into this. He has to sack and then go Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu comes out. It should easily leave one of those and can go for a hit or a double switch on Alakazam, which is exactly what he does on the expected Como. He's even gonna heal a little bit from the Grassy Glide, so that's even better for him. Now he has to go for an attack, though. Como makes a lot of sense instead of Magirna, because Magirna, although it's the Alakazam check, and it is any attack from Tapu Bulu. Como basically doesn't mean that Alakazam can heal right here. It means you have to attack me, otherwise you're gonna die to a Z move. So very good plays by AlphaRay right here. CaptainFunk a little bit messy end game, and he's gonna have to go for the side shot and kill this Como. Otherwise he loses. So he kills that, and now all you have to do is go Gren and Water Shuriken. Why wait? He decides to go Magirna and choke the game. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Iron Head does 17%. There is literally no reason to click Magirna over Greninja, because now you gave up on HP. You gave up on HP. You allowed Alakazam to Calm Mind and you gave it HP, and now you don't kill it with Water Shuriken. So what the fuck was that? That was so funny, man. When I first saw this shit, I was like, what is going on? Instead of just going Gren and Water Shuriken twice, he decides to go Magirna. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. And yeah, you gave up a lot this turn. Now, there is a chance you still crit, and there is a chance you outspeed still. So it's not the end, but it should have been the end. You should have won with the Gren clicking Water Shuriken twice. So let's see what ends up happening. Water Shuriken goes to the crit. Yeah, like I said, 40%, like it was before, you probably leave the Water Shuriken easily, unless you get crit. So I guess you were afraid of that and did all this, but I think recovering with the Lagazam earlier was a lot better than having to do these double switches with Tapu Bulu and everything. So a little bit of a messy end game from both sides actually. So nice lang, guys, great game of the year. That's so funny. He goes with another one, and we see a recover. All you have to do now is just recover, so you are outside of range from Water Shuriken. And he does not do that. He decides to go for another Calm Mind, which means if you create the Water Shuriken, you lose the game. And exactly that happened. There is absolutely no reason to go for another Calm Mind. Calm Mind, recover, Side Shock, and whatever the last move is, it doesn't matter even if you cannot hit this Gren. I saw the setter after, and it was Barrier, no Focus Loss, some shit like that. It was Barrier to improve Alakazam defensive star, so it's kind of funny. But it makes sense with the Toxic Spikes synergy with Gren, so cool stuff. But why would you ever go for another Calm Mind instead of Recover? Recover keeps you outside of range, and you don't risk getting crit. So CaptainFunk definitely messed up the late game. AlphaRay also definitely messed up the end game, but it worked out for him unless it's recover. And by recover, I mean synthesis Tapu Bulu, which means it could be outside of range from Magirna's Ice Beam. And you can spam that until he's low enough to kill it with a superpower. But no, it's not that. And we're gonna see Magirna leave the attack and go for the Ice Beam against the freaking Tapu Bulu and win. What just happened, bro? This game was funny as fuck, bro. Man, I enjoyed this game so much when I saw it. It's still a good game. It's still a good game. But the end game, man, the end game was all the money in the world for this end game. This guy doesn't just click Water Shuriken twice. No, he's like, I'm gonna create everything instead and play with a 4% chance to create instead of just going for two Water Shurikens. I don't know why he went Magirna that turn. Did it make any sense? He did it twice already. He should have known what I said was on Alakazam, that it's not just max speed, max special attack. It's definitely at least HP, at least HP, at least it's max HP. But yeah, by running the numbers, you would probably know that it's not just max HP, it's not speed, it's not a special attack, it's a defensive Alakazam. It took 51 from Medicham, so yeah, kind of didn't take the time, I guess, to calc. The timer was very low on AlphaRay's side. That's why I kind of get the pressure in the end and how you messed up. But that was so funny. And CaptainFunk didn't make at all. It didn't make sense at all at the end game because Recover just won you the game. You also had time to think, so I guess he played quickly and now he paid for it. So yeah, always take your time, guys, to think. End game is like super important, and even like competent players in larger tournaments often messes up. Myself included. So always take the time to run the numbers if you have time, of course. Good management of the timer is very important for a competent player. So yeah, Alpha is gonna take the win. Game of the year. Game of the year. Very messy end games. Very lucky crit. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I decided to upload this because it was funny. And the game was overall solid team, solid game, solid double switch by CaptainFunk. Very strong early game, very strong mid game with a few key turns from AlphaRay against the ground MZ, and a few misplays from CaptainFunk. But overall, CaptainFunk played like he was like dominating this game. If he just didn't go too far with his plays. The ground MZ was unnecessary prediction, Icebeam was free, and now the end game was messed up. AlphaRay kind of mid game the whole game. He was basically getting outplayed again and again and again. But he got some plays right that gave him a lot of value. And he had a clear idea of, okay, I need this, I don't need that. So good value of his Pokemons. But yeah, the end game, both sides just screwed completely. So that's it about this game. A lot of fun. I enjoy this one a lot. I'll be uploading more games like this and hopefully better the next few days. So if you guys enjoy going like this, feel free to drop a sub. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. See you maybe later today or tomorrow. Peace.